All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to head into Game 5 right now. It is a best of 3 from here on out, so let's go and check it out. Moving over to Antigua Shipyard, where you have Socke, who just lost. Let's go over and look at him. He's in, well, a color that didn't really help him out last game, but in game number 3 on Entomb Valley did, or I should say another color did. Maybe he should revert back to red.
Well, I'm not quite sure if he should. He is really comfortable with his favorite color, so we have him once again in teal. And yeah, we have cross position and no gold, as Sheth just mentioned in the chat. So being maned once again. And yeah, it's going to be pretty cool. I really like Antigua, and I want to see what Socke is going to do, because usually this game also evolves a little bit about the Protoss players' response to the third. And this is a map where we see the tactic, the strategy that I mentioned earlier. Quite often the attack with the Void Ray and the +1 attack upgrade. Blink Stalkers are also an option, a nice 2-base blink all in for the Protoss. There's a lot of stuff that you can actually pull off, so let's see what Socke decides to do, and Sheth is obviously aware of all of this. So yeah, it's going to be a good game. I like Antigua. Antigua is a really nice map.
Yeah. Socke is going for the Forge Fast expansion, looks like. He's going to poop down that Forge pretty soon. In the meantime, he's just going to block his opponent from doing any fast hatchery type of build. So, nice play overall, but the spawning pool will go down. No gas just yet. But, you know, a little bit of what we were talking about. Socke has shown a different build every single game, all 4 games. That is something so cool. Right now, what does Sheth actually think? Like, what am I going to be going up against? In this game, where Antigua Shipyard, as you said, Khaldor, has a lot of options for the Protoss if Zerg decide to go for that early 3 base, which we know Sheth likes to do.
And the one thing that I have to say about Sheth is that he's a really, really calm and cool player. He always keeps his calm, and he's always like, okay, I'm just playing it. I'm not quite sure what he's doing. I'm just going to scout, and then I'll see. So every time I watch his stream, he is trying to talk about what his strategy is. He kind of tries to make an assumption early on, but then he tries to confirm it as well. It's not like he's playing blindly. He always puts the overlords into position, and this is exactly what he's doing right now. 2 overlords are already on their way, and then he will see what exactly Socke is up to. So I really like this by Sheth, and that's why I don't think that he's really stuck with this idea. He doesn't really get all that nervous, in my opinion.
That's something that you mentioned that's so important. I mean, understanding ranges are a really important thing in StarCraft 2. And what that basically is what your opponent is capable of doing based on, normally it is gas, but you know, there's little tells. Like right now I know just based on the Nexus, the Gateway, the Cannon, the Forge, you can't be going something like 2-gate all in, you know. So, I mean, that's really stupid, but that's a very clear example about ranges, and Sheth is able to understand the ranges, and then he puts a little assumptions on what he feels like his opponent is doing based on style, based on anything like that, and little tiny reads, and then he tries to confirm it, as you said, with the Overlords, with Zergling Scouts, with checking out the army composition. It's so cool to watch Sheth on his stream. Go check him out too, because he actually teaches me a lot about Z versus everything.
Look at the top right. We have Sheth trying to sneak into the base of Socke. Socke throws down the cybernetics core, not only to prevent it, but also to have the cybernetics core, obviously. And the Zerglings are attacking it right now outside the range of the cannon, which is a little bit annoying. There's finally the Zealot that's able to deal with. And while you're mentioning the stream of Sheth again, the one thing that's pretty cool about Socke, we talked a little bit about the German players and about their kind of community, like how they help out each other. And there's actually kind of a podcast and a talk, it isn't German, but where Socke meets up with players like Hazorps, Dark Force, Delphi, and a couple of other players, and they talk about the newest changes in the game and the strategies, the performances in different tournaments and leagues, and just try to talk about the games as well, which is pretty cool. And you get a nice insight into the mind of a player, how they think about a tournament, how they think about a strategy, or also about losses that they had. And it's sometimes really funny to watch how they explain, and they said like, yeah, I played like shit, I was so nervous. It's really funny. So if you're actually able to understand German, you should check it out, sc2pro.de. Just a little side note if you want to know how players like Socke think. But we have the Stargate again, Gretorp. Once again, the Stargate follow-up for Socke.
We might have a little bit of deviation though. Of course, Socke, he never does the same build twice, it feels like. He's like that type of player, man. So
we don't have +1 yet. He doesn't have 100 gas, but let's see if he is investing the next 100 gas. Yes, he is. He's investing them into the +1 attack upgrade.
Overlord spots it out and sees the Stargate go down. Now, let's go ahead and concentrate on this income tab and see where Socke actually stops. If he stops somewhere around, what would be a good number? It would be, 44, I think. 44 probes. That would be the best. If he stops at 44, then he's going to be streamlining. No, he's going to go a little bit higher than that.
There's one thing that I just realized. At the bottom, between the natural and the third base, we have one lonely probe that has not been scouted. And he could actually place down a pylon if he wanted to.
That would be devious. Absolutely
I don't think
devious.
it's going to happen, because it's taking a little bit of a risk, but he could. There it is.
Man.
There it is.
No way. Jesus.
Oh, but the queen just places down a creep tumor.
Well, I think the creep tumor should reveal it as soon as it's finished. Yep, there it goes. The creep tumor reveals it, so he's good to go. Now, 2 Void Rays are coming up, and there it is, 6 gateways additionally, so he is going for Void Ray plus gateway all in. This is so good against, you know, a 3-base Zerg when they do have their base over here. That destructible debris, it basically gives those Void Rays that charge up that they need so that when the main engagement actually happens, they're all ready, they're pumped to go, and they're doing tons and tons of damage being at that level 2 charge.
Yeah, exactly. I like this. I mentioned it after the last game. I like this strategy a lot more than the gateway pressure that we've seen on Daybreak. Let's see if it's going to be enough. That's the big question here now. We have 68 drones for Sheth against 49 probes, and Sheth is still getting harvesters. I don't really like it. He needs to get an army now.
Yeah, I think he's gone a little bit too much. 68 is like perfect, I think, to defend 74. That is, you know, like half a round of units that he shouldn't have gone, I think. Right now, he just wants to be beelining for roaches and then just following up with mass circlings thereafter. But we're going to see, ooh, very nice job by Liquid Sheth. He's going to actually deny that pylon from going up there. That's a very critical pylon because what you're able to do is warp in units on the top over here with that Void Ray. You can see what's going on with the Void Ray. Warp in and then force units in the back, and that gives you a lot of time to get position on this destructible debris.
And here we have the Zerglings trying to get into a position to take down the sentries, which is not going to happen. The Void Ray is in position, at least one of them that is, and not quite charging up. He's just trying to kill them. And here's another warp in with the Phoenixes. He warps onto the high ground to the left side of the map, takes down Overlord. Now he's in the main base. He could have just tried to go for some kind of sentries, but he's attacking the third now at 2 times at one, 2 places at once. I like it, and the Hydralisks are not out yet.
Yeah, there is absolutely no way to actually stop this because the sentries are on this high ground, so it makes it impossible to actually defend. This third is gone. There's no way that Sheth can actually hold us. And with this third gone, that's most of Sheth's advantage. Remember, he has that huge drone count. That's going to diminish immediately. As we can see, 57 harvesters now. And all of a sudden, his entire advantage is no more.
We have a bunch of Lings killing the last round of warp-ins, but the Zealots with the +1 are just ripping the Zerglings to shreds. Finally, the Roaches trying to take down the warp-in pylon. He succeeds in doing so. Supply is even, the third is gone. And Socke looking very, very strong. Hydralisks are being rebuilt. We have +2 attack coming up for Sheth as well as the range upgrade for the Hydras. But now Socke is just running down the ramp. He still has a couple of warp-ins into the main base. There are Zealots taking on the drones. Sheth has to defend in his main, and at the bottom where the main fight is raging on. Very nice play by Socke. He's getting farther ahead in the game, and it looks really, really bad for Sheth now. And going to be very hard to defend now, especially with all those 3 Void Rays just taking everything apart in the path.
This is why Antigua Shipyard is such a good map for this type of play. The all-in-play Void Ray is so good on this map, and it's for that the fact that, you know, it's the main is just so accessible to warp-ins. can see it's doing way too much damage, and there you go. That's going to be the nail in the coffin right here. With this force field on the ramp, drones are going to be pushed out, but there's no way you can deal with the Void Rays, and this is going to be GG anytime now from Sheth as he gets his last remaining forces cleaned up.
Yeah, you're completely right, Gretorp. We have the force field at the ramp, making sure that none of the units are being able to stream down. He kills the drones. That's the GG. Once again, we have him with a 3-2 against Sheth. This is a great show match. I really love it. Today we've seen so many different strategies, such a nice play already by both players, and we still have a couple of games ahead of us.
Yeah, that's that build is so hard to stop. I'll just speak right there. It's super hard to stop, especially I've seen Stefano stop it, and what he does is he cuts around 66 harvesters, anywhere from 60 to 66. He doesn't actually go for the metabolic boost until he knows his opponent is engaging. You just go all roaches and then streamline zerglings and let the metabolic boost actually kick in a little bit later. And I think he operates off of either 3 gas or 4 gas. I'm not sure. I forgot last time I saw it. But that's the way that he defended against a very strong Protoss, which was in Nori at the time. But obviously Socke looking really good, and he was able to kill Sheth in this particular match. I don't even know if, even if Sheth had that extra round of units not going for all of those drones, he would have been able to stop that. That's just such a strong push, I think, from Socke.
Yeah, it was a really, really strong push, and it put him ahead in the series. So Sheth is behind a little bit. He has to make sure that he wins the next game if he wants to have a fighting chance to win the $400 for the first prize. Don't forget, the runner-up will still be rewarded with $100. So this is going to be a tough battle on the next map. Ladies and gentlemen, we are heading straight for the next map. We'll be back after a quick break with the NASL Sunday show match. It's going to be an epic match, another game between Socke and Sheth.